You're staring at a blank screen again. The cursor blinks back at you. That problem still turns in your mind like a stubborn lock that won't give way. We've all been there, stuck in mental quicksand, where more struggling just pulls us deeper. What if I told you the key to solving your most challenging problems already exists inside your mind? What if all you needed was a pen, some paper, and a proven method to extract those solutions? I discovered this truth accidentally during my darkest professional crisis. My startup was failing. My relationship was strained. My mind constantly spun with no resolution in sight. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't think clearly. The chaos was overwhelming. One night, desperate for relief, I grabbed a notebook and wrote everything down, every fear, every possibility, every question. Something strange happened. The act of writing transformed my internal hurricane into organized thoughts. Problems that seemed impossible suddenly had clear outlines. Solutions emerged from the fog. This wasn't just luck. Ancient philosophers from Marcus Aurelius to modern thinkers like Ryan Holiday have practiced journaling as a problem-solving technique. Scientific research backs this up. A study from UCLA found that putting feelings into words, a process called affect labeling, reduces activity in the amygdala, the brain's emotional center. Let me show you how to use journaling to solve any problem you're facing. The magic starts with clarity. Problems feel overwhelming when they remain abstract clouds in your mind. Think about your current challenge. Is it really one massive problem, or is it several smaller issues bundled together? Writing forces you to name exactly what you're facing. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, explains this perfectly. When you write down your ideas, you automatically focus your attention on them. Your thoughts begin to clarify. This clarity is step one in solving any problem. Start by writing this simple question. What exactly is bothering me? Be specific. Instead of writing, my job is overwhelming, try, I feel anxious about the quarterly presentation because I don't have enough data to support my conclusions. Notice how the second statement immediately points toward a solution? That's the power of specificity. Next, explore the problem from multiple angles. Our minds tend to get stuck in single patterns of thinking. Journaling breaks this pattern by forcing new perspectives. Try these prompts to shift your viewpoint. If my best friend had this problem, what would I advise them? How will I feel about this problem 1 year from now? What would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? Each question creates distance between you and the problem, allowing your mind to access creative solutions previously hidden by emotion. I remember using this technique when deciding whether to leave my corporate job. On paper, I created a dialogue between my present self and my future self 10 years ahead. My future self offered perspective my present anxiety couldn't see. This imagined conversation gave me courage to make the leap, a decision I've never regretted. The third power of journaling comes from emotional processing. Problems often remain unsolved simply because they're emotionally charged. Writing provides a safe place to examine these feelings without judgment. Psychologist Pennybaker's research shows that expressive writing, where you explore your deepest thoughts and feelings, reduces stress and improves problem-solving abilities. The simple act of acknowledging emotions on paper decreases their control over you. Try writing for 5 minutes about how your problem makes you feel. Don't censor yourself. No one will read this but you. The emotional clarity that emerges often unlocks logical clarity too. Now, let's bring structure to your problem-solving journal. The most effective approach combines several techniques. Start with a brain dump. Write everything about the problem without structure. Get it all out. Create a pros and cons list. This ancient decision-making tool still works wonders for clarifying options. Map consequences. For each possible solution, write what might happen next, and then what might follow that. Time travel. Write about your problem from your future self's perspective, looking back at how you solved it. I use these techniques when facing a critical decision about relocating for work. My journal revealed fears I hadn't consciously acknowledged and values I didn't realize were so important. The right choice became obvious once everything was on paper. Remember that consistency matters more than perfection. Daily journaling builds a problem-solving muscle in your brain. Even 5 minutes each morning can transform how you handle challenges. The philosopher Seneca wrote letters to clarify his thinking, essentially journaling through correspondence. Leonardo da Vinci filled thousands of notebook pages with problems, questions, and observations. Albert Einstein solved complex physics problems through thought experiments he wrote down and explored on paper. You don't need to be a genius to use their methods. You just need to start writing. Your journal becomes a trusted advisor over time, one that knows all your patterns, fears, and strengths. It becomes a record of problems solved and evidence of your capacity to overcome challenges. The final benefit might be the most powerful. Journaling builds self-trust. When you document how you've solved problems in the past, you develop confidence in your ability to solve future ones. This confidence itself becomes a problem-solving tool. The next time you face a challenge that seems insurmountable, don't just think about it, write about it. The solutions you seek may already exist in your mind, waiting for the right questions to bring them forward. Your pen is more powerful than you realize. Your journal more magical than it appears. Your ability to solve problems greater than you know. The page is blank. The cursor blinks. But now, instead of dread, you can feel possibility. What problem will you solve today?